Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to talk about one of my favorite things when it comes to manifesting, and it's often overlooked, and it's the power of kindness. So there are a lot of chaos. There is a lot of chaos going on in our world right now, and it tends to bring up fear, which is a low vibration. Vibrational energy, fear is very low, right down there with anger. And when you are in that fear mindset, a lot of times it becomes this fear of, if I don't get it, if I give it to someone else, then I won't have enough. And it becomes this, that you are out there only for yourself, and you lose that sense of community. And I'm a big believer in kindness. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to be out in the world and smile at someone. Or if someone is struggling, lend a helping hand, even if that helping hand is, I want to pay for the car behind me at Starbucks. But think about those times, and it usually happens during the holidays. Usually we are at the holidays where there are so many opportunities to do something kind. You donate to a charity, you drop your change in the Salvation Army bucket, you find ways to donate gifts for maybe Toys for Tots. But the rest of the year, kindness doesn't stop right then. And I'm recording this now in March. We're heading into spring. And I think about ways that we can spread light into the world. The days are getting longer again. How can we take that sunlight and really spread that? Think of kindness as sunlight and how you can spread that in the world. And I have a few suggestions for you. And also think about it from a manifesting angle. When we actually show someone kindness, there have been scientific studies on what that does to your brain. And you really can rewire your brain when you do acts of kindness. So for instance, they have tracked that an act of kindness triggers, whether you're receiving or giving it, it triggers a release of dopamine and serotonin. And these neurotransmitters can bring about that feeling of happiness and well-being. Kindness also physically boosts oxytocin, which they call the love hormone, but it fosters connection and trust. If you are feeling stressed and anxious, the easiest way to lower that cortisol, which is like a stress hormone, is to get yourself in a positive mental state. And a great way to do that is through an act of kindness. There was actually a study in 2020 that found that people who regularly practice acts of kindness lower their levels of depression, increase their life satisfaction, and even do physical things like lower their blood pressure and inflammation through their body. And it's all through those neural pathways that you open up for positivity through a simple act of kindness. So basically, the more that we practice kindness, the more it starts to rewire your brain for positive interactions. You start becoming more optimistic. You start looking for ways that you can make a difference. And gosh, don't we need that in the world right now? You can raise your vibration. And when you do that, manifesting wise, remember that law of attraction, it attracts more kindness. It attracts more gratitude, more things to be grateful for. So you start that cycle. Everything in our physical world runs in a cycle. And when we can send out these karmic ripples of good karma, oh my gosh, it comes back to you tenfold. It also expands your heart chakra. When you do an act of kindness for someone else, even if you do it anonymously so they can never tell you thank you, your heart chakra just opens up because you have been sending out this light, this love energy, this kindness, this joy, and it opens you up for more abundance, more things to be grateful for. So think about these acts of kindness as ways that not only can we help the world and heal the world, but it also gets you into these positive energy loops. Think of them as a cycle of kindness and joy. Kindness really is a magnet for abundance because when you send out these small acts of kindness, it sends out ripples into the universe. You never know what someone is going through, and a simple act of a smile and going, "Oh my gosh, I love your shirt." It really can change someone's entire day. I am in a point in my life where I decided I would like purple hair. And I tell you, every time I get compliments about my hair, it makes me smile. I say thank you. And this gratitude loop that I find myself in brings me so much joy. And I go out of my way to try to notice something good about every person that I come in contact with socially. When you're out, even in the grocery store, I try really hard to make positive interactions, kind interactions with at least two people every time I'm at the grocery store. One is usually the cashier, but I try for one to just be somebody that I bump into in the store. When you start making time, making space in our busy lives for acts of kindness, it can change everything for you manifesting wise, because you start pulling in these opportunities. Try a daily kindness ritual. Like I was just saying, I try to do say something nice to two people that I come in contact with. What if you're not someone who maybe you work from home and you don't go out all the time? Well, you interact with people on the phone. You interact with people online. You can do things like if you work from home and you don't get out very often, or, whatever your situation is, you can go to GoFundMe's and you can send someone $5 that you don't even know. You can even donate anonymously and see how that makes you feel. Not only are you spreading kindness and light, but it also tells the universe that you are abundant, you are giving, and you start a cycle for that to come back to you. And it can open up opportunities too. Maybe you notice that I'm an author, so you might notice that an author friend has a Kickstarter and it hasn't quite funded yet. It's super close. And you might not even read that author's genre, but when you click on their Kickstarter link because their post said they're so close, you might back that project for $25, and you might be the one that pushes it over. And you know what? That author will always remember that. And then you might have a book coming out or a Kickstarter coming up, and they remember that you were the one that kicked them over, and maybe they're the ones that are your first donation when you start, your first backer. It can manifest in ways that you never imagined. And again, right at the beginning of this podcast, I told you kindness costs you nothing. It doesn't have to be, well, the backing might, but it doesn't have to be money. It can be a kind gesture. It can be a volunteering of time. I attend a Unity Spiritual Center here in my hometown, and they have a gorgeous garden. And they open it up once a week. They have the garden club. You do not even have to be a member of the center, but you can come and put your hands in the dirt and watch flowers grow and do amazing things and just donate your time and effort. It doesn't have to be money. Kindness is not a monetary value. Kindness is purely energetic, spiritual energy. And you can infuse that into your life and change everything. Having a daily, focus on I'm going to be kind today can change your life. So I'm going to give you a little tiny bit of homework. Anyone who's ever had a tarot reading from me, they're always like, oh, here comes the homework. But really make time for this and watch how it changes your life. Maybe for this next week, after you've heard this podcast, try and do an act of kindness every single day. Just one. If you do more, bonus points. But at least one act of kindness every day this week. And at the end of the week, journal about how it has shifted your energy. Notice what happens. I'm going to go back to that pay for the person behind you at Starbucks. At the holidays, that happens so often. But how fun is it for you to start that cycle today? It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it can totally make the day of the person behind you. They pull up and they say, oh, it's already paid for. What? That is such a good feeling. Every time that happens to me, I pay for the car behind me because I want them to feel it too. Pass along the kindness because we can change the world. We really can. Just push that kindness out into the world. It costs you nothing to be kind. So I hope that you'll take up that homework this week. Do one act of kindness every day and check in at the end of the week and see how you feel. Also, if you are ready to start manifesting and changing your life, I highly recommend the free 4-day manifesting challenge. It starts next week and you can find the link in the show notes to sign up. Please join us. It's 4 days of figuring out what are my dreams? Where do I want to go next? And how can I get there? And in an empowering way. So I hope you'll join us. That link is below. And remember, kindness costs you nothing. Let's change our life. Let's change the world. And it all starts with you today.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.